How's it going, everybody? This is Rob of Novakast back with some more of Onision's book, or third book. Okay. Here we go. This is chapter 14, and there'll be 5 more chapters after this. Okay. Excuse me, a voice came from beyond the darkness created by my own eyes. I opened them. Hello, said the flight attendant standing next to my aisle seat. I replied, oh, hi. Did I do something? She laughed and answered, no. I was just wondering why you didn't impregnate Julia. I was wide awake now, no words. I had no ability to talk. The flight attendant continued. Was she everything you wanted? Shame about being so far away from her now. I wonder if she'll sleep with Michael next. I couldn't even look at her. My eyes were fixated on the drop-down tray in front of me. I heard a familiar voice laugh near first class. The flight attendant dusted off her vest and walked away as if she didn't just say anything mortifying to me at all. The laugh in the distance continued, but I was so deep in my thoughts, so physically numb, I couldn't do anything but remain still. Almost as if I was in shock, paralyzed. While brief, that woman attacked my most vulnerable place and turned me upside down as if it was nothing. By the time the plane landed, I had mostly recovered. I had high anxiety about the laughter I heard while the flight attendant harassed me. Whoever it was would no doubt be gone by the time I got to the front of the first class to the front, as first class always leaves the plane first. The plane was a cluttered mess as we tried to get off, a typical routine. Everyone crushed together in the long aluminum can, trying to gather their shame-covering clothes packed in their nearly identical zipper bags, smacked each other clumsily as they removed said storage container from the overhead bins. Upper body strength escapes so many of us. Walking forward, I could see all the seats within my line of sight were empty. It was a relief. Just before getting off the plane, I noticed one of the first class bathrooms were open. I could only see the lights surrounding the mirror inside. Upon the reflection sat a face smiling at me. The moment I recognized who it was, I ran. Laughter from the bathroom exploded after my first few steps, then faded as I got away from the boy, the alien. Whoever he really was, it seemed every time I was around a metal roof or housing, he had to follow me. I came to a complete stop just before stumbling through the exit of my gate. I didn't want to leave like this. I don't want to keep running. I don't want to keep getting abducted or drugged. Taking a deep breath, I walked back on the plane, ignoring the looks people were giving me as I passed them. I had pushed half of these people out of the way in my earlier sprint. Now I'm pushing past them again. I felt rude, but my anger made me blind to caring whatsoever. The boy from special ed class didn't expect me to return. He was still chuckling to himself in the bathroom. The flight attendant who harassed me earlier said, oh, excuse me, clearly confused and conflicted by my return to the plane. Without hesitation, I grabbed a fork from the flight attendant food distribution cart and planted it as deep as I could into the neck of the special ed boy. As soon as the fork went completely in, making contact with the bone in his spine, his eyes went black. He had a look of absolute shock and terror, as if he was a sibling just playing pranks and someone just snapped. But this boy was not my sibling. This boy was not even human. Immediately behind me, I heard a loud smack. It was the flight attendant. She had fallen, her head colliding with the metal cart I just grabbed a fork from. Maybe he was controlling her telepathically, or maybe I was a nut job and this was all hallucination. Either way, I didn't want to be around to try and explain all this. As the other airline staff member crowded around the fallen woman, I looked back to see the alien skin facade melting away. How stupid. There was no disguise, no failsafe. What began to show itself was just a smaller version of the aliens I encountered in my dreams. Now I definitely had to get out of here. Walking away quickly, but not in the manner that implied I was guilty of anything, I made my way to the baggage claim relatively fast. My sister was already there. As soon as she saw me, she yelled, "What took you so long, dork?" I didn't reply. Shortly after, my mom showed up and drove us home. She just talked about how much she missed us. She also made a joke about her eyes not exploding in a while, which was not even remotely funny considering what I had just gone through. It's easy to laugh at past pains. It's impossible to genuinely laugh in the pain. If the pain is ongoing, for me at least. Being on my foam bed was incredible. Next to the hum of the furnace, the washer, the dryer actively cleaning the clothes we hadn't washed before we packed to come home. The noise, it drowned out my thoughts of the hopefully dead alien that stalked me wherever I want, and the horrible way I felt when the flight attendant dug right into my most intimate experience ever. Stabbing that freak in the neck, however, that was therapy. That was me dealing with the endless times I had been tortured on that craft, the endless harassment I endured, and my vengeance for whatever they did to me. Because I know Anit-Onision wants revenge all the time by the people he claims wrongs him. With all the familiar ambient noise, I began to fall asleep, but before I even completely unconscious, I was already on another ship again. They could have taken me at any point during the summer, but here I was, all of a sudden, the center of attention. I was frozen in place, vertically positioned as usual. This time someone who looked human walked forward. He reminded me of Agent Smith from the Matrix movies, only with black hair and a head that wasn't completely oversized for his body. His voice was different too, almost like what you would expect from a New York businessman. You killed him, and we thank you for that. We have questions, however. What did he do to you before you went to your dad's house? What did he say to you on the "No more," I screamed, interrupting him. "I will not tolerate any of you anymore." I screamed even louder. As much rage shot out of me, the loudness of my voice visibly disturbed the man before me. I screamed again. "I will see you all die this time around." Half the man's face was torn off by my screams. Noises I had never made or never heard came from his chest, as if that was the true origin of his words. I was released and began walking towards the man with now half a face. I said, "Die." The remainder of his head exploded. Out of the darkness came aliens in their natural form. They were bigger than me, but somehow I changed. Immediately I grew. The aliens now beneath me. I screamed again as they tried to approach me with multiple sides like human animal control, trying to capture a beast with rabies. "You will all die. I hate you all. Die. All of you. Die." 2 more heads exploded until I was ejected from the spacecraft. Free falling again, it felt so familiar, like I was having a flashback to other times, or time, as he wrote. I had witnessed my removal from the craft, only I didn't want to fall soundly to my bed like before. They would just come back, do more tests on me, or at the very least try to answer the questions they asked earlier. What did the boy do to me? As I continued to plummet towards the earth, I tried numerous ways of flying. The Superman position with one fist above me towards space. The Iron Man pose with hands and feet pointing down as if jets were coming out of them. I even tried flapping my arms furiously. None of it worked. Finally, I simply focused. I told myself I would not fall. I let go of my weight mentally and emotionally. I told myself I could travel at the speed of light. I felt energy rising up within me. I began to fall in reverse. Seconds passed and I was back on the ship. The aliens were panicking. Their screams sounded just like the boys did on the plane when I stabbed him. I screamed again and 2 more aliens died, only I quickly realized it wasn't my scream that was ending their lives. It was my mind. Simply focusing my rage would end them. The more I killed, the more I remembered that boy digging around my head in the bathroom at the elementary school. I saw him as if I was watching above my body. There was something in my head, something black that had a glow to it. I could see he was not adding something to my body. Instead, he was removing things that looked like implants the other aliens gave me. The more I saw him working on me, the more I realized I had killed someone who was just protecting me. That's why he looked at me with shock in such a way that almost seemed like his feelings were hurt. Like he just saw his own pet die right in front of him. When I planted that fork in his neck, I saw remorse. These astral memories swelled in my mind as I slaughtered the aliens that rejected him. The aliens that boy had fought to protect me from. I could feel many of the aliens still on board, still alive. I felt them in my chest. Killing, like everything else, gets boring after a while. My rage had died. It was too easy. They kept trying to eject me from, or like before, but like a warm wave hitting a massive wall of pure obsidian. It had no effect against me or my newfound astral control. Oh, this is so stupid. I wanted to go home. The ship was now deep in space. I also wanted everyone on board to die, and quickly I visualized a bomb in the center of the ship, a bomb that would consume everything within 10,000 yards and crush it like a tin can under a cement truck. In an instant, everything around me was pulled away, yet I remained in place. I could see aliens' heads turn to paste. I could feel walls that were not even exist before my eyes bending and crunching. I could hear alien blood shooting out of every hole in the bodies. Under my own will, I shot off back towards Earth, back towards my bed, back toward the hum of the furnace, to wake up tomorrow as if none of this happened. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. We're happy, so happy. Good morning to you. My mom sang, good morning, Mom, I said. Okay, that got dark really fast. And might I say, I have a feeling that's how he feels about a lot of people that criticize him. He wishes everybody dead, I'm assuming. Alright. I'm just gonna end it here. We're gonna continue on in the next video for the next chapter or whatever. So thank you guys for watching. Truly appreciate it. And if you guys can, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. This is Rob of Novakast signing off. Have a good one and take care. Peace.